Hannah author looked at the cursed piece of tombstone in her hands, making her feel nervous with blood rushing through her veins. She walked over to the gate and reflected on her surroundings. She had always hated scary graveyard with its overgrown, leafless trees. It was a place that caused her to clench her hands together with an uneasy feeling. Then she saw something in the distance, or rather someone. It was the figure of Tommy Sellers. Tommy was a kind person with blonde hair. As Hannah looks over at his leg, she sees a huge gaping wound that has blood gushing out of it. Hannah gulped. She glanced at him, thinking about what happened to you? Her hands shaking with blood dripping from them. Tommy, a monster happened, that's what. They rose from the graves. Hannah, are you serious? Let's get out of here. While trying to get out of the graveyard, they hear a branch snap. They turn around slowly to see a figure standing there coming towards them. They start making a run for it to where Hannah freezes to see Tommy can't run anymore. Tommy, just go without me. Coughing. Hannah, I can't leave. Tommy, it's okay. As she's running, she looks around and notices that she has been going in circles, if she was stuck and can't get out. After running for a little longer, she hears the monster coming and starts running again until she falls in a river. Waking up from her dream, she asks herself, I thought it was real. As her mom walks in, she says, why were you sleeping? You have to get dressed to take your brother trick-or-treating. Hannah, oh yeah, trick-or-treating, give me a second, I'm going to get dressed. Getting agitated. Okay, but hurry up, your brother can't wait longer. Hannah gets up, goes and gets her brother to take him to trick-or-treating. They go and knock on some doors for candy. After a while, she sees the gate she saw in her dream, but she didn't think anything of it until something standing there looking at her says, help. Then Hannah knew that was the man from her dream. Hannah stopped in shock, telling her little brother, Alexander, to come closer to her, asking him if he sees what she does, him responding with, yes, that's a cool costume. Until Alexander saw someone behind him asking, who's that? When Hannah turns around to look, she gasps loudly, telling her brother to start running home. As they're running home, everything turns black and foggy, noticing she wasn't holding her brother's hand anymore. She starts to call out for her brother. Alexander, where are you? Running? I'm over here, Hannah, I'm scared, help. I'm coming, stay there. As she keeps on running, she trips on something and falls in a ditch. Waking up half conscious, she sees something stand at the top of the ditch making a weird sound. She asks the figure what it wanted and where was her brother. The figure says nothing as it disappears into the fog, coming back with something in its hands, throwing it down the ditch, as a result making her unconscious again. Waking up in a different room, the figure stands in the dark of light. Figure, do you know why I brought you here? Hannah, no, why? Figure, I know you saw me in your dream. Hannah, how did you know? With her voice wavering. Figure, I could feel it. As things go, Hannah starts to think about where her brother was and how to get out of that room. Hannah breaks loose from the rope, tripping over a rock that has a key under it. Her hand stumbling to grab the key, she finally grips it and unlocks the door. She tries to find her brother, but everything is still dark and foggy. As she's calling out for Alexander, everything starts to brighten up out of nowhere. Realizing that she was on an ambulance, the paramedics told her she passed out and wouldn't wake up for a while. Hannah asked the paramedics in a faint voice where her brother Alexander was. They said, your brother, what do you mean? In confusion. Alexander, his name is Alex for short. Barely wake. Oh, sad. What's wrong? Hannah, that's your name, right? Your brother died 2 years ago. That can't be true. He was with me today trick-or-treating, and my MO? She gets mad. The paramedics put Hannah under sedation to calm her down after hearing that her brother wasn't actually with her. While she was knocked unconscious, she was thinking if everything was just a lie or reality. Hannah at that point in time woke up in a hospital trying to get the nurse's attention. That is when she noticed there were cuffs on her. Hannah now gets the nurse's attention and asks him if the cuffs could come off, but he said, no, I'm sorry, would you like it if I called your mom? Hannah said, yes, please. tears coming down her face. Walking away with a grin on his face. Hannah feels uneasy just as he walks away to the phone. Minutes later she called a different doctor to ask her who that nurse was. Doctor, that nurse right there on the phone. Hannah, yeah, that nurse. Gulping. Doctor, he just popped up out of nowhere. Hannah, are you sure? Doctor, yeah, are you okay? Hannah, yeah, thank you. Looking back and forth at the nurse, he suddenly goes to a room and grabs something she can't yet see. Hannah sees the nurse coming to her room. The nurse asks Hannah questions to see how she feels after passing out. She responds to the questions with yes and no. A different doctor comes in the room an hour later telling Hannah that she is going to take some blood for testing. When the doctor is about to put the needle in her vein, everything blacks out again. Hannah feels something hard at the end of her feet, realizing it is wood and that the needle was just a spider that bit her. Hannah says ow as she hits something hard on top of her too. She then realizes that in fact she was buried 6 feet under the ground in a casket the whole time.